In the Orthodox faith, we put a great emphasis on prayer and having a constant communion with God. In the first podcast, Reverend Father James Cheriyan helps us meditate on the spiritual labor of prayer.
All glory and honor be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. May His grace and mercy be upon us, weak and sinful, in both worlds forever and ever. Amen. Very often, we find it difficult to engage ourselves in the activity of prayer. And this is because we do not learn and teach ourselves to understand what the spiritual activity is all about. Prayer is our movement towards God. And God is this incomprehensible mystery who brings life, light, and salvation to every creature. This God, who is beyond all human intellect, allows us weak and mortal ones to approach Him in prayer. And hence, I assume it is safe to say that prayer is a mystical movement towards the incomprehensible God of love. The more we move towards Him, the more He allows us to become like Him. In the words of Saint Gregorios of Egypt, the crown of every good endeavor and the highest of all achievements is diligence in prayer. It is through prayer that we are able to see the guiding hand of God in our lives. And it is through prayer again that we begin to acquire all the other virtues which lead us to the light and life of God. In his second epistle to the Corinthians, chapter 1, verse 4, St. Paul affirms that God consoles us and our afflictions so that we can console others in every affliction. It is prayer that leads us to the experience of God's consolation, which gives gladness to our hearts. A movement towards God is a journey which requires great diligence, and hence prayer is not a menial task. The work of prayer is greater than any other work, and if we are not attentive and devoted in this journey, the devil deprives us of all our rewards. Almost all the fathers of the Church, when they talk about prayer, time and again teach us that through consistency of true prayer, we slowly begin to bear the fruits of love, humility, simplicity, and goodness. In 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, verse 17, and in his epistle to the church in Rome, chapter 12, verse 12, St. Paul educates us to pray unceasingly and as well as to be persistent in our prayers. While we begin to cultivate the habit of prayer, we need to make sure to defend ourselves from laziness, confusion, and the wandering of our intellect. If our prayers are not founded upon humility and love, we profit nothing out of it. In fact, not only prayer, but any and every spiritual activity should be founded upon love and humility. If our spiritual labor is not based upon love and humility, we are no different from the 5 foolish virgins to the infinite love of God. And hence, Saint Clement of Alexandria says, prayer is a conversation with God. All glory and honor be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, now and always, and forever and ever. Amen.